out, and then to touch your finger. So one maneuver and another maneuver is here. Put the finger into the crest and the tubercle in the middle here, and control it. You can differentiate the indirect and the direct hernia. So these two physical examination is quite important to you. You can try it this afternoon. Okay, so another differentiation is you must have to make a differentiation diagnosis of a lump in the inguinal region. Sometimes the people show you a lump here, so you must know if it's really a hernia. So sometimes some hydrocele, like this is the testicle, the hydrocele of the testis here, and this is the hydrocele of the spermatic cord, and if they're together, it's the communicated hydrocele. It's some collection in the spermatic cord. Sometimes it will make you feel it's like a mess. So at this time, we can use a torch with the light paintbrush. Sometimes if it's a light, you can see the light pass through the skin. So it's an important picture. And then you have to make differences, other different diagnoses like some malignancies. People have lymphoma or have some metastasis. The testicular tumor, they will have some mass in the inguinal region. So you must keep in your mind there's some malignancies also like hernia, and other things like undescending testicle. It's very common. Some people come to you and complain about a mass in the inguinal region, and you make an operation without thinking, and it turns out to be a testicle instead of hernia. So he will kill you because you will remove his testicle. So please remember, testicle should be undescended, particularly undescended testicle is one of the reasons of the inguinal mass. Some other things are here, you can have a look. Most important is the hydrocele and the testicle. Yeah, now I turn to clinical types. The first, of course, the most common is reducible hernia. Go out and you come back freely, so this is reducible hernia. So it means it can return to the abdomen spontaneously without any, or with manual pressure. It also can go back into the abdomen. That means it's also reducible hernia. That's why not obstruction, intestinal obstruction. And that is irreducible hernia. That means the hernia becomes larger and larger. Cannot go back again. But still no gut obstruction. Why? Because the sac is very large. The hernia is very large. Although it cannot go back, but because the sac, the neck of the sac is large, so the contents of the head, contents of the intestine also can go very freely in the gut. So it means it's irreducible hernia. It's okay. It's also no obstruction. And
so, Lakshmi, can we feel the peristalsis of the intestine?
Feel that?
The motion of the food in the intestine. Can we feel that? Peristalsis.
Segmentation.
Segmentation?
Can we feel the segmentation of intestine?
Yeah. We can listen. The bowel sound can be heard. Bowel sound can be heard in the hernia when the contents of the hernia is intestine. Sometimes the hernia contains its omentum. If this is a hernia, usually you can hear the bowel sound in the hernia. And sometimes when the intestine go back, you can hear the gurgle is there. So it's also an important sign.
And Lakshya, that reducible hernia, it's recurrent. Is it recurrent?
Recurrent?
Yeah. Like we put the manure and it go back. Again the person is coughing next time, then again it will come back. Is there any chances of that?
Yeah, I mean the reducible hernia is go out and go back. It's very free. We did not call this recurrent because go out and go back is not recurrent. It's still there. Only you make an operation, make a repair, it was cured. Then some year later, to come out again, because this is recurrence. And now we turn to a very important idea: is sliding hernia. It's one of the irreducible hernia, but it's really very important. How to say this? Because some of our viscera, intra-abdominal viscera, attached to the peritoneum. Some organs, I show you. If this is a small intestine, it's okay, no problem, because it's very free. We can imagine, very free. Did not attach to the peritoneum. But when we turn to urinary bladder and colons, particularly the cecum, they are very close attached to the parietal peritoneum. So when there's a hernia, the contents go out, become very large. Then what happens? The peritoneum was also dragging out. Then when they drag out, a lot of things will drag out. The organ, that means the viscera in the peritoneum, will also be dragged out. That means these organs has become part of the hernia sac. Can you understand? Okay.
Can you repeat it?
Okay. Some organ some organ very closely attached to the peritoneum, and we know the sac of the peritoneum. The sac of the hernia is the peritoneum. So when the hernia becomes very large, these organs become part of the sac of the hernia. I will show you. You see here? The hernia becomes very large. It means usually this is a hernia, but it becomes very large. This part becomes hernia. They go out. The cecum go out. Or sometimes the urinary bladder also go out. So these organs has become part of the sac. So we call this is sliding hernia.
So that means in a normal hernia, the hernial sac is only and only formed by the peritoneum. Not in a sliding hernia. In the case of irreducible hernias, the hernial sac is formed only and only by the peritoneum, not by the intestines.
Intestine?
In the reversible hernia, the peritoneum forms the sac.
Yeah. Right. In reversible hernia, usually it's only peritoneum. But in irreversible hernia, some part of irreducible hernia, they are sliding hernia. But not all the irreducible hernia.
So in the ones that are not sliding hernia, in that the hernial sac is only and only formed by the peritoneum. Except the sliding hernias, all the other inguinal hernias, in them the hernial sac is only and only formed by the peritoneum. There is no intestine in the.
Yeah, right. The only sliding hernia, other hernia or the sac are all peritoneum.
So that means in the other cases we can't talk about any type of bowel obstruction or anything. In other cases, except the sliding hernia, we don't need to talk about any type of bowel obstruction.
Only in the sliding hernia is where the obstruction can take place.
The bowel obstruction.
The bowel obstruction can take place. But if we say that the sac is formed only in the irreversible and reversible,
No,
how can the
And the bowel obstruction is another thing. You know, the sliding hernia did not mean bowel obstruction. You know, it's quite different things. The bowel obstruction I will talk later. I only talk about sliding hernia. The significance of sliding hernia it means the organ compose part of the sac. So when you make operation, it's very easy to hurt this structure. You know, I remember when some weeks ago, an old man come to our hospital. He was made an operation, a hernia repair in local hospital, but they gave me a complaint that is after the operation, he was oliguria or dysuria. So we really cannot understand. They said this is shock because of shock after hernia repair. It makes us very confused. The hernia repair is not a major operation. It's just a very common small operation. Why? After such a small operation, the patient will turn to a shock status without urea. Dysuria, if you know, I think you have already learned shock. So dysuria is a very, very critical status. So we really cannot understand why the patient have a bulge abdomen. It's very painful. We really don't know why. And we make a check, and a lot of ascites by ultrasonography. We found a lot of ascites in the abdomen, and we take some out. It's yellow and transparent. It really make us very confused. And then we make a catheter into the bladder, and put some water into this catheter and make the ultrasonography simultaneously, and we found the bladder was ruptured. And the water will get into the catheter, will go out into the abdomen. The reason is why the guy got a sliding hernia, and the doctor there did not pay attention to this problem, and they make a ligation and cut the sac of the hernia, and actually they have cut the urinary bladder, because this is a sliding hernia. The urinary bladder go down with the sac, and they just make a very regular operation. Yes, the bladder was ruptured, and all the urination get into the abdominal cavity, and but they don't know this. All the scientists actually this is urine. They are urine, so they don't know why. They call this a shock, but actually it's not a shock. It's just a leak of urination. So
when did it happen?
Yeah, we make another operation, and I think about some weeks ago.
But it's very easy to know if you do a CT scan.
Sometimes it's not so easy.
You know that the bladder is inside.
But sometimes the bladder, after urination, the bladder will close, will shrink.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes it's very difficult to understand this problem. So
Well,
it
how
will make
about
mistakes.
X-ray allows again?
So
Well, how about X-ray allows? X-ray. X-ray. X-ray.
X-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, X-ray find nothing. Only you have some contrast in your bladder. Put some contrast into bladder. X-ray can turn out it's okay, but only X-ray means nothing. CT scan is okay.
And blood test, the WBCs can be, increased.
Yeah, WBC should be increased, but a lot of WBC increasing a lot of status. Many situations will cause shock, also will cause inflammation, shock. A lot of problems will cause increased WBC. So WBC means nothing. The only problem, only definitively sometimes you can take the sinus out and to find if the urea, if the increase in the urea in the sinus, then you find it to make a discrepancy that if this is a urine or a sinus. So it's very rare, it's not common. But why I take this case? Because I think when you do the hernia repair, you must pay attention. When, particularly for those very large hernia, you must be very careful. Like this, there must be some organ, like cecum or urine or bladder in the center of the hernia. So this is very important concept. We must know this is sliding hernia. And then another two easy and also very important terms. One is rectal hernia. Rectal hernia means sometimes the contents of the hernia is part of the wall, part of the intestine wall. So because this is rectal hernia. And another is lateral hernia. What is lateral hernia? Do you know the intestinal diverticulum? So a diverticulum in the intestine, and this it go out when the diverticulum is the contents of the hernia. So we call this is lateral hernia. So this is a very special, two special kinds of hernia you must remember.
So the hernia is due to the diverticulum, or before there was this defect in the abdominal wall, and then the hernia, the diverticulum was produced.
No, a diverticulum involves congenital.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
Then,
there first, and then this
Yeah,
diverticulum caused the hernia.
the diverticulum did not cause the hernia. They are different in two things. They separate two things. The patient have diverticulum and also have hernia, and very heavily the diverticulum go out as the contents of the hernia. So we call this is lateral hernia. Very rare. I have never seen this. I have never seen. It always was tested. He will give you a question. What is lateral hernia? So you must tell them this when the contents of the hernia is diverticulum. This is lateral hernia. Okay, so we turn to another very important, very important thing is incarcerate hernia. This is a question: why the people will got abdominal, will got bowel obstruction in hernia? That means when the hernia, the defect is very small, and the intestine can go out a bit and go back very freely. And sometimes the patient have some situation like a very abrupt cough, or take something very heavy, and the pressure in the abdominal cavity increased abruptly, and the contents of the hernia, like particularly like intestine, was abruptly pushed out. So they go out, but the neck of the sac is very small. When they go out, they cannot go back. So this is incarcerated hernia. It means the contents cannot be returned to the abdomen and cause symptoms. So these two things is very important. Only cannot go back to the abdomen. We call this is irreducible hernia. It did not cause symptoms. But when they go out abruptly and cannot go back and cause symptoms because it was carcerated. So we call this is incarcerated hernia. When it go out, and we have a feeling when I put my hands in this region, cut your closely control your hands, and your hands will become swollen because the venous flow cannot go back, so it becomes swollen. So the more swollen the content is, the more difficult to go back. Understand? So in this situation, we call this is incarcerated hernia. So it's very important. This is incarcerated hernia. So another term is also very important. Is reductive incarcerated hernia. That means like this. This is incarcerated hernia. The neck is very small. The content will rapidly go out and cannot go back, and become larger. And more it cannot go back. And here you see, actually, it looks like W, the shape of W. In your eyes, it's okay. It's only incarcerate. But actually, there's a small part of intestine. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 segments of intestine here. Here is 2 segments. Only the incarcerated hernia have 2 segments of hernia, but here we have 4 segments of intestine in the neck of the hernia. In the neck of hernia. So, look at this. It's very easy to be neglected. Maybe this one has already become necrosis, but here it's still okay. This looks very nice. So when you do operation, you see, hey, this 2 intestines is very nice, looks okay. So you just push them back, but you neglect this one. Neglect this one. Actually, this one is in the middle. The pressure is very high. It's already necrosis. So you make a mistake. So please remember, reductive incarcerated hernia is very important.
So which one we push? Which one is inside?
Which one? This, the intestine, just like a snake, is very easy to. Yeah. So it has, go out, in, 4 segments, like a shape of W. It go out. So
the upper side is outside or inside?
this is inside of abdomen. This is inside of abdomen. This is the neck. This is the sac of the hernia.
But you said you get necrotizing there, and
Because here is obstruction.
This part has already been necrosis, and they are in the abdomen. Yeah, actually, so
No, it's coming.
yeah. So in your operation, in this case, what's your correct way is you must take some more intestine out, then you will find this hardened gut, hardened necrotic gut. So any operation, you must take more out and then put them back. Otherwise, you must worry about if there's any necrotic part there.
So we have to cut the necrotic part. We have to cut off the necrotic part, right?
Yeah, we have to cut off the necrotic part. Otherwise, the necrotic part will rupture and cause peritonitis.
And also the obstruction, the content might move somehow, little by little. I want to ask that this necrosis is due to the obstruction of the vessels.
Yeah, it should be because this in the middle. So like it was
Squeezed.
yeah squeezed by the neck of the hernia,
Yeah.
and then the most of the pressure is in the middle. So it's very easy to necrosis first.
The content somehow might move.
No, they cannot move because
So then if they cannot move, this means that the patient will complain in 24 hours.
Yeah, it will complain.
In just 24 hours. So in 24 hours, the arteries must have been constricted. So that's why the necrosis.
Yeah, theoretically, 24 hours is the threshold. But the problem is when you in clinical jobs, for example, the patient have already been 36 hours, and you make an operation, open the sac, hernia sac, and find this segment of intestine is okay. It looks nice. You want to make a section.
Yeah, you have to see it.
Yeah, you have to take some out
Take out.
to find okay, then you can go back. If you go out, you find out this small W there. We have
Not
to,
enough.
yeah. Okay, this is another strangulation hernia. So we turn to strangulate hernia. I mean, when incarcerated hernia will cause the venous outflow obstruction, and then it turns out to be when time go on, the incarceration will go on. It will cause the artery, the blood supply of the intestine will be impaired. At this time, the necrosis occurs. So this is a very typical image of the necrotic intestine. So you see here, this is okay. This is only venous only congestion. But here, this is totally necrosis. So we have to remove this necrotic intestine.
So now, can we go back to the previous slide?
Go back.
So can we say that the reductive incarcerated hernia is a type of strangulated hernia?
Yes, right. And any hernia have necrosis, they must be strangulated. Okay, these two pictures not important. So this is only a table. This table is difference between indirect and direct hernia. I think I have talked about in detail. I should just make a summary. Here you see the age. Indirect hernia is always in child or young people. The direct hernia because it's the weakness of the